And we are back here at the Tacoma Dome, Matt Classic 24, the state wrestling championships. And weight class 195, Greg, we've got Cameron Schlotter, a junior from Cheney, up against senior Dayna Squibb of Centralia. And coming into this, Dayna has been on quite a roll, and is probably a little bit favored coming into this, would you say?
Yeah, I would say he's favored. He did take 5th place last year at the 189-pound weight class, which was mostly solid seniors except Joey Gomez, which is going to be wrestling the next match here at the 220-pound weight class. And is it Schlotter? Is that how you pronounce it, Paul? I'm looking, he didn't place anywhere last year. So when it comes to some experience, I think Mr. Squibb has a little nod here, and I know how tough Centralia's schedule is too, so I know he's wrestled a lot of good wrestlers too, so I'd have to give my nod to Squibb, but we'll see.
And the Tigers came in with hopes of really giving Deer Park a run for their money for the team title. In the end, they've had 3 finalists, 2 have come up short, and now this is their last chance on the boys' side to get an individual championship. And that means a lot as well.
That does mean a lot. Mr. Belzo had a nice shot, but again, Andrew White, tough wrestler. They've wrestled each other before and stuff. I think this is Centralia's best shot of getting their title they're looking for.
They did pick up one on the girls' mat there. Ryan Gibbons just winning for the Tigers. Meantime, for Cheney and Schlotter, he comes in. This is Cameron Schlotter, and he started, where did he start? He started with a pinfall over Chase Davis of North Mason, then an 11-3 win over Gage Reif of Chehalis, and then a 3-0, and this was the bit of an upset, wasn't it? Probably Schlotter over Ohalik of Olympic.
Yeah, Ohalik was a state champion in the 3A division 2 years ago. Last year he had a concussion, so he couldn't wrestle. So he had high hopes of being a state champion this year, but Schlotter beat him 3-0.
And here Dayna Squibb has come in with a pin in the first. He's got 3 pins here in his 3 matches, and he'll go for 4 in a row here.
He's on a mission, Paul. They're about ready to start.
We're underway. Weight class 195. Dayna Squibb of Centralia and Cameron Schlotter of Cheney.
Starting right there he's just tying up with the Russian. Squibb is trying to get a hook. Now we're getting to the weight classes where they're a little bit afraid to shoot for the legs because that's a lot of weight. Right when I just say that, he shoots for the legs. But the next couple weight classes, you don't want to get stuck underneath all this weight and stuff. The extended halves and pancakes and spins and all that stuff's going to come up. So let's see what Dayna does here. How is he going to get behind him?
And Squibb is one that likes to do a lot of those leg rides that you talk about as well.
Yeah, he does have a bad habit of giving up weird points, but he always ends up scrambling back and usually getting his victories. But he's known to making mistakes once in a while. Jake Grantham last week, by the way, had him, if you remember right, had him on his back that first round, almost got pinned, came out of it and ended up pinning Jake. But, yeah, he gets himself in trouble sometimes.
I think he did that in his second match. Well, in the quarters, he got himself in a little bit of trouble, as you mentioned. And a good scouting report, likely from Cheney's head coaches, is probably telling their man, Cameron Schlotter, that when he makes a mistake, you make sure to take advantage of it.
Yep, he's behind him, Squibb is. If he can get that knee down on the ground, he might end up getting a takedown out of this. Let's see what happens. It looks like he's choking, but he's not. There's a head and an arm in that lock he has there. Dayna needs to get behind him if he wants any points, but nope, it's a stalemate, it looks like. Or blood, he sees blood somewhere. Dayna has some blood on his forehead.
So a little blood on the nose, and he didn't realize it. And that will stop things with no score here in the first round. Gives us a chance to run down the other placers, Greg. At 195, in third place, Tyrus Kemp from Ephrata. Nice tournament for Tyrus, just a sophomore. and another sophomore, two guys to look for next year. In fourth place, Jake Grantham of North Thurston, and they ended up an 8-4 match for third and fourth. Caleb Johnson of Blaine was fifth. Caleb O'Halleck of Olympic ended up sixth. Tyrell Cronk of Mount Baker seventh, and Gage Reif of WF West was eighth. But I think Grantham has wrestled Squibb several times, and Dayna will say that he is a tough young man. And take a look at Kemp from Ephrata and Schlotter of Cheney, all underclassmen. Here's another weight class that looks like it's going to be darn tough for the next year.
Yeah, another weight class with only 2 seniors in the top 8. So, yeah, there's going to be some more experience coming next year's SMAC Classic. Okay, the blood's all cleaned up. We got about 15 seconds in the first round. Score still 0-0. Seeing a little bit more offense out of Cameron from Cheney. He's got a single. Time's going to run out.
That takes us to the end of the first round. No score between Squibb and Schlotter here, and Schlotter will take the down position.
Yep, I saw Schlotter. He was going to defer, but all the coaches down there say, no, down. So it might be that, that first score thing. You never know. And then there's another leg rider, Paul. Right off the bat, he tries to stick that leg in. And he has that power half in there, and what he's trying to do is just crank him over, break that 45 degrees, and get your back points. But he needs that leg in a little deeper. Cameron has the foot. He's a strong kid. He's climbing up. Dayna's way too high. He's in a bad position up on top. Schlotter should score on this. Let's see what happens. Yep, he gave him a 2-point reversal. So Dayna's going to have to do something to get those points back. Cameron's up 2-0 from Cheney.
Coming up on halfway through the match. 1 minute to go here in the second. And Schlotter takes a 2-0 lead over Dayna Squibb.
Yep, Cameron is just has the wrist, trying to hook the legs, trying to ball them all up so he can't move. And Dayna just did a nice switch. Got 2 points, ties this up. And let's see if Dayna Squibb wants to stick that leg in again. It got him in trouble the first time. Right now he has his ankle. If he holds on that forever, they might call that stalling. Let's see. Now the foot's out now. We got 25 seconds.
So looks like he's trying to do some cradle or something there.
It could be potentially dangerous. I don't exactly know what he's doing. He's just draping over the body right now, which isn't really the best wrestling position to have. So right now I think Squibb's just content to have this round go out so he can pick the bottom position himself. It's going to be 2-2 going into the third.
So we're tied at 2 apiece. 1 round to go here, weight class 195. And Centralia's Dayna Squibb will take the down position. Cameron Schlotter of Cheney, who had the early lead, gave up just the reversal. And this is going to be a really grind out third round, you kind of figure, in this one.
Yep. The coaches said, give him the 1 point escape and let's start on your feet. And Cameron says, Coach, let me ride him for a while first. So let's see if he made a mistake or not here. And again, Dayna Squibb's just, he's not even acting busy. He better start moving a little bit or he's going to get a stall warning himself. I think he's sort of waiting a little bit towards the end of the round for him to score his points so he could just win this thing. Let's see. The last time he scored, he did do the switch. Most of the wrestlers at this level like to do the stand-ups. But he got the arm bar. Cameron's got the arm bar locked in there. Let's see if he can roll him over and get some back points or not. Watt, he's going for the half Nelson on the other side and the arm bar on one side. He looks a little high. Squibb can go through the back door here. Let's see what happens here. Oh, potentially dangerous, cranking on the knee.
He had a good hold of that one here, and now we're tied at 2 apiece. 56 seconds. Now both wrestlers, someone's got to go after it here.
Somebody's got to go after it. Cameron's has to keep him down. Dayna just, okay, they let him go. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but if it was, I don't think I would have intentionally let him go. But he's down by 1 now, Cameron is. And Dayna, I don't believe he has a stall yet. Oh, he's behind him. He's looking good. Now a 3-point lead, Paul. He just needs to lay on top, act busy a little bit. He's cowboyed the leg, so he can't do any sit-outs or switches or anything like that. And if he tries to Granby, he's going to get himself stuck. So that's a nice, I don't like to call it a stalling move, but when you do want to stall, you sort of like to cowboy that near leg like Squibb did, and then maybe get a cross wrist in there or something. But let's see. The last thing you want to do is stand up and tie up. But
9 seconds to go, down to 5 seconds. Dennis Squibb, and a stall warning against Squibb.
That's fine. No damage there. I'd stall again if I can. 5 seconds to go.
Should be 5-3 on the scoreboard, right?
No, that was just a warning.
Oh, that's right. And Dayna Squibb gets the championship. And Dayna Squibb, what an outstanding young man he is, and gives his competitor a big hug and congratulates him. And Cameron Schlotter put up a pretty darn good fight there for the junior. And Schlotter, only a junior, going to have a chance to come back and get right back here to the title match.
Yep, he put up a great fight, had a great tournament. He can't be bad or sad too much about his tournament. Second place isn't too bad when you've never placed before. So we'll see more. We'll see more of Cameron next year.
No question about it. So there's 195 now in the books. Dayna Squibb of Centralia gets their lone individual championship on the boys' side. We do know that they did get one on the girls' side, and Ryan Gibbons at 195, a freshman, getting a state title as well for the Tigers on the girls' side. So with that, that'll also cement Centralia's, not that it wasn't cemented already, but that'll keep them firmly in place in second place. Deer Park will be the team champions. Centralia will be second. And I think we still have a little bit of a fight somewhere between Fife and Ellensburg. Is anyone left? No, I don't think anyone's left. So not sure if there's much more of a scramble. Okay, other than that, so there is some teams scrambling still left to go, and we'll find out. Only 2 matches to go. 2:20 is next. Joey Gomez of Othello will take on C.J. Rodriguez of Deer Park, and that'll be for weight class 220. You're listening and watching the Met Classic 24 Championships, the AA State Wrestling Championships, right here on the WIAA Network.